Today there is interesting news from the Julipol direction. Here, Russia has been trying to establish positions inside the town with its forces bogged down and the town contested. However, recently, Colombian reinforcements have been deployed to the region, halting enemy efforts and stopping the Russian assault cold. Fierce urban fighting continues inside the town, with approximately 25% of it remaining in the gray zone. While the Russians are kept at bay inside, their forces are also attempting to mount an outflanking assault north of Julipol, towards the Halt River to the west, to envelop the town's defense. While the Ukrainian positions west of Julipol remain coherent, Russian infiltrator groups occasionally manage to slip through the fortifications by evading the drone reconnaissance. These attacks are meant to cause chaos behind the Ukrainian lines, aiming to reach Strodjanka and Zielnishna to widen the bridge. These villages are vital because if Russian forces manage to push through and take them under control, they can cut off the last paved supply road leading to Julipol, achieving operational encirclement. Moreover, Strodjanka and Zielnishna function as critical strongpoints intended to block Russian advances from the east, as they lie between two main Ukrainian defense lines originally built to stop attacks from the south. If these villages fall, Russian forces would be able to bypass and penetrate behind the lines from the east, exploiting a sector not designed to withstand pressure from that direction. The Ukrainian defense plan consists of three elements, of which the first is holding positions on the railway line, which goes through Zielnishna and the station, as a hardened barrier. A railway line can function as a hardened linear defense by channeling movement along predictable corridors and providing embankments. Strodjanka and Zielnishna lack fortifications with trenches, available only east and west of Zielnishna. However, if we take a look at the topographic map, we can see that the Ukrainian defenders have a clear advantage because Julipol is in the lowlands, while the smaller villages are on the high ground. These positions provide elevated observation, staging areas for drone operators, and positions suitable for artillery and mortar crews. The high ground further enables sniper teams to deliver precision fires in support of infantry maneuvering in the lowland. The second defensive measure taken by the Ukrainian command was to deploy Colombian reinforcements to stabilize the contested sectors and counter enemy assault groups. These troops, many of whom previously operated in the Lehman Axis, are former military or police personnel, making them among the most experienced foreign volunteers in Ukraine. They serve within specialized units conducting high-intensity assault and clearing operations, often in coordination with Ukrainian special forces. Geolocated footage from the Julipol area shows a Colombian soldier repelling an attack by two Russian assault troops who had broken through. Both Russian soldiers entered the Ukrainian trench, but the Colombian fighter was waiting for them, hiding in the darkness and supported by a drone. As the Russians entered the trench, they walked into a trap and were subsequently eliminated in a close combat firefight. Eventually, an enemy assault rifle and ammunition magazines were captured, and the fire, which broke out at the entrance, was put out using a fire extinguisher to preserve the position intact. The third element in Ukraine's defensive plan is targeting Russian logistics networks to disrupt the flow of supplies to frontline units. Footage released by the 108th Territorial Defense Brigade shows a Ukrainian FPV drone striking a Russian unmanned ground vehicle laden with ammunition, triggering a large secondary detonation. Such strikes systematically erode Russia's ability to sustain follow-on assaults and reinforce its troops with ammunition, explosives, or other essentials. Overall, the timely deployment of Colombian reinforcements has played a decisive role in stabilizing the situation around Julipol, reinforcing a Ukrainian defensive posture that remains intact despite sustained pressure. Relying on terrain advantages, hardened infrastructure, and effective counter-logistic strikes, the Ukrainian defense continues to deny Russian forces a breakthrough and the operational encirclement of the town. This is key for protecting this part of the front line, because Russian forces persist with assaults in this sector, as success would enable them to outflank key Ukrainian defensive lines in Zaporizhia and push deeper.